Welcome to the family that prays together. This is part 2 of how we hear the voice of God. We already talked about we can hear the still small voice in our hearts, and we pay attention to what our feelings feel like afterwards. But did you know that God speaks to you through your senses? He gave you those senses. He can speak to you that way. So he uses our eyes, our ears, our heart. That's how he speaks to us. So with our eyes, it might be like a vision. So you might see something out in the world in front of you that's not really there. That's a little rare, but I've seen it. But usually what you might see is a vision in your mind's eye. There might be a movie that starts playing all of a sudden. There might be a picture that you see, or sometimes people see words. With your ears, you might hear something out in the world. Like I've heard people say they hear bells ringing at mass that aren't really there. One time in my whole life, I heard a big booming God voice that was external. He said, "You will have a son, his name is Eli." But that's rare. And the reason we think we don't hear God is we're waiting for the big booming voice. That's not how he speaks. He speaks in a still small whisper. That's what it says in the book of Elijah, story of Elijah. So you want to know what God's voice sounds like? It sounds like, close your eyes. Say your first, middle, and last name. That's what God's voice sounds like. It sounds like the voice that he put inside your head. He can use that to speak to you. So you might hear that little voice and wonder, was that him or was that me? And if you think it might be him, the way I kind of picture is, I picture that I hear him call and I open a door and I lean my head in the door and I say, "Was that you, Lord?" And if it was, wait for the next response, right? He's going to tell you more. He wants to speak to you. He wants you to hear his voice. He's never, ever, ever going to hide that voice from you when you ask, Lord. I kind of think of it like he's a mom who has been trying to get their children to eat vegetables their whole lives. And finally the kid says, "I want broccoli for dinner." She's not gonna be like, "No, you don't get any today." She's gonna be like, "Yes, eat all the broccoli." God is just waiting for you to say yes. He wants to pour his words on you. And he only gives us a little bit at a time, right? He gives us as much as our hearts can handle that day. Then if you ask for more the next day, he'll keep giving you more and he'll keep giving you more. And the more you say yes, the more he'll speak, and you'll start to notice that voice. And you can say yes to it over and over. Stick around here. We're gonna keep going deep. We're gonna keep running hard towards the Lord and hearing more about how to hear the voice of God.